Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Vintage Story. So, since last episode I have done quite a bit of stuff. I mean, nothing major, it's just continuations on what we've been working on, and a little bit of landscaping. I did do a little bit of that. I'm actually up here. I've been using this little spot for my landscaping. So I brought some ladders up. This just kind of overlooks our area. Nice view up here. I mean, I could go higher up here on these mountains, but I figured this is high enough. Not to mention I can kind of move around on this a little bit and, you know, get some side views. I mean, down there's the blacksmith. Like, look at that. It'll be a whole lot better once we get the roof on. I mean, not the roof, but the second floor. But over here, you can see I've actually removed a couple pieces of dirt, and I went ahead and let that water flow all the way down to there. And what my plan is, I'm actually going to open this area up and let the water flow through here. Of course, I've got to place it with buckets, but I want to get water flowing through there. And then what I'm going to do is, of course, this pathway is going to come over. There's going to be that cave that goes through the mountain, which I'm actually getting semi-close to actually having that 5x5x3 all the way back. Or 5x3. not 5x5x3. Just 5x3 all the way back. Of course, that's not going to be the final shape, but it's a start. We almost have that all opened up. But then I'm going to have the water come through. It's going to flow down through here. And over here is where I've been doing some landscaping. The water's going to come on through, and it's going to go into this little river here that winds up and around into the water. Getting a little bit foggy right now, but hopefully you can see. And over here I've done some landscaping. A lot of this, if you recall, there was water that was like right over here, and then there was water right there. Went ahead and opened a lot of this up and brought the water through. And you can see a bit of road work down there. I have brought the road down and around. Right there is where that fire clay was. I'm working on clearing all that fire clay, and then I'm going to clean it up and have the water come through. I just don't want to have the water come through and then there still be fire clay down there, because it's very important for us. But we have an absolute ton of fire clay right now. Like, I'm talking like a chest filled with fire clay, and then like half another chest filled with fire clay. Like an absolute ton. And also, really cool note, literally like right before I started this episode, hey, flax, I'll take it. Literally like right before I started this episode, there was a post made on the news section of the Discord that the 1.7 update has dropped. Now right now it's not a stable update, but it has dropped, and once it hits stable, we're going to update. And I'll probably end up posting the changelog on the Discord. Probably by the time this video's up, I will have probably posted the change on the Discord. We'll see. But the update is out, and it includes things like animal husbandry is added. So our chickens that we have stockpiled over there in that dirt hole are going to be useful. We're going to be able to get eggs. We're going to be able to feed them and breed them. And what's really cool is after 50 generations of breeding the chickens, they will become like completely friendly. Like, they get progressively more friendly the more generations that you breed them. And apparently after 50 generations, they'll trust the player. And so they won't run around and squawk and go crazy whenever we come close. So, but this is my fire clay quarry that's going on here. So, I mean, I'm sure you can tell there's a lot of fire clay. And then I've got a little bridge here that kind of just spans the water. Nothing fancy. Of course, it doesn't go across a lot of water. It doesn't, you know, there's no incline for it that kind of goes over. It's just a nice flat stone bridge that runs across. And then this carries through, and I finally cleared out all the wood. I had trees running through here, but I finally cleared it out. That's actually going to go over to where the mine's going to be, like the resource mine. Of course, you don't set up just one mine in Vintage Story, but we're going to have a resource mine for andesite and granite. Of course, right now I don't really have any use for it because I'm just mining that tunnel over there. But we are going to have a mine. Also, I've got a bit more firewood over here. I had more charcoal making. It looks like it's done. Well, I had more charcoal making, but it looks like it is done now. And you can see I've brought some more chests up because I just have so much stuff building up. Oh, and over here, I have expanded this. So we actually have three axe molds, 3 shovel molds, 3 picks, and 3 swords. Just because those are like high priority, heavy use type items. Moved our anvil over there, and I made some more ingot molds. I also made some more planters and flower pots because we're going to need a bunch of those here before long for both exterior decor as well as our plant nursery. But I don't have any use for them this episode, I don't think. This episode, we're going to be focused on setting up farms. I want to get some proper farms. I know in the changelog for the 1.7 update, I noticed that crops are going to take double the length of time to grow. So this is actually a really good time for us to be setting up proper farms, because farming in mass is going to become increasingly more important, I think. Regardless, I mean, we're good on food and we're going to have berries and stuff, but I want to grab, over here in the seeds section, I want to go ahead and just grab all of our seeds, because we're going to need these today. We're also going to do some berries, set up some berry farms, but for right now I want to focus on, these are red currant, I want to focus on the crops. We'll get those up and going, and then we'll get berries planted. Also, I did, our linen little carpet is back. Also, there's some linen back there as well. So, I've been busy with just a lot of landscaping. I mean, and I also, it's not, I don't know that it's readily apparent, but I did smooth out some areas and stuff. Now, there's a spot right up here next to the road where you can see some, like, andesite stone. That's not going to stay there. You know, this area right over here I've got to shape up. There's actually a pool of water back here. Right there, and I'm going to open this up and kind of have like a little stream that comes down. I've actually started clearing some of the dirt back right over here. You can see right there. I'm going to have the water stream go and connect over kind of where that fire clay is. So I figured we needed some water kind of running through our base. Okay, so what I'm thinking is our first farm, and bear in mind this is not going to be the only farm. As we get more seeds, we're going to just be expanding on farms and adding more farms in other places. However, our first farm is actually going to be right in here, because I feel like this is a really good place for a farm. Because once this stream is all done, I mean, it's going to be surrounded by water on most of the sides. And, you know, there's all this kind of flat land here over near, like all this lush water and everything. I think it would be a really good place to have a farm. And I'm going to do a bit of decorating and stuff as time goes on. I mean, right now it's just really thick grass right in here. But what I'm thinking is we're going to go ahead, let's see, this is 4 wide. And so we're going to have like a 2 wide. Yeah, we're going to have it 2 wide that you walk through. And so we're going to go ahead and start like right up here, I think. We'll go ahead and just pull this first piece up there and then a piece there. And if you recall from whenever we covered farming before, the farms, the water will hydrate 3 blocks, right? 3 blocks away from it. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to have our farms be 3 wide. And if you recall, the seeds have N, P, and K, right? That they take into account. Oh, there's another chicken. Give me just a second. I'm going to see if I can get this rooster in the pit with the others. There we go. Haha. Okay. I've actually got quite a bit. It's hard to tell. Yeah, look at all the chicken, the hens and roosters that I've got in there. I have quite a few of them. I have been ready for the animal husbandry update. And the nice thing is I want like chicken pens, like little chicken farms, you know, around the town. Like once we get chickens that don't just run in fear of us, it'd be kind of nice for like some of the yards and stuff to have like, you know, animals in them. And it's not just chickens either. It's bighorn sheep and something else, I believe. No, I think it's just sheep and chickens right now. Maybe. I can't remember. I'll look here in a second. I just had I skimmed down the you know, the changelog and everything, because it was posted like right before I went to record this, or start recording this, so I haven't had the time to like fully process everything. Now this farm starting out, we're just going to do 2 rows or 2 sets of rows like this, and then and then over time we'll expand it out. So because I'm thinking if we brought some rows off in this direction, that'd be pretty good. And I may even remove this hill and bring some rows out in this direction. I will probably raise the land, so it'll be like let's see, we'll have water there, and then maybe have it maybe go up a block, and then like another row there. So kind of build it onto a slight incline there, but I'm not for sure yet. I know over here I'm actually going to remove some of this dirt and then have some plots that run down along here. So, also one thing to note, if you do find pumpkin seeds, because I know I saw the discussion on the Discord about it. If you find pumpkin seeds, they're like fairly rare, but they actually require more space than normal crops do. They require, actually I don't remember if it said, but I think you need like a 3x3 or a 2x2 or something like that for pumpkins, because they are a bit bigger. I haven't personally encountered them, and I haven't tested them out in a test world or anything, because I imagine we'll find pumpkins at some point. But they are a bit different, and those seeds are fairly rare. Also worth noting, breaking the crop, you don't get the seed back, I don't think. So, like, make sure you plant it where you want it to go. I think we'll find out more. Just know that pumpkins are a little bit different whenever you find those seeds. There's actually a number of seeds that we have not found yet. Okay, I've only got 4 medium fertility soil on me. So we're going to have to go farm up some of that. I would like to find high fertility, but I've heard that high fertility is fairly rare. So finding that may prove a bit of a problem. You can actually see I've populated this with some more tools. I was actually doing quite a bit of copper melting, and our ingot stack is a bit higher now. See? We have ingots coming in. But soon we're going to be moving off of copper into better metals, like next episode. I was debating, I don't know if next episode, if we want to get into animal husbandry a little bit, or if we want to get into the bloomery. I don't know. We'll see. Because it all depends on if a stable version comes out by the time I record next episode or not. Is kind of what will be the deciding factor. So, we'll see. Okay, now I'm going to go a little ways out and find a place where it's not going to be visible, that I've ripped up a lot of the land. Okay, I think over here should be good. And I'm going to go ahead, give me just a minute. I should have farmed this up before, but give me just a minute. I'm going to farm up like, I don't know, like a stack and a half. Or, I mean, 2 stacks and a half or something like that of this medium fertility soil, and then I will be back here in just a moment. Okay, we've got 2 stacks and 35 medium fertility. And kind of what I'm thinking is we will end up putting like a fence around this and really kind of sprucing it up. But for right now, I'm thinking we're just going to have these rows set up, right? And I think that's going to be the main thing I focus on right now, because I do want to get something set up, some place set up that can house berries. Oh. And I actually love doing water on here because you can do this. And like flowing water, you can get source blocks from. And you can literally just go down the line like this. And just do it like that. I love it. But yeah, we're just going to do crop rows. For this farm, I think it makes the most sense for like these big farms to just be crop rows. Plus, it's going to make our lives a whole lot easier when it comes to planting stuff, because we can have a line be N, a line be P, and a line be K, and then rotate them. Every time that we harvest, let everything grow to full growth, and then just harvest it all at once and rotate. And then we don't have to worry too much about the nutrients. I'm not 100% sure if they will get back up to 100% in the time that, between 2 growth periods, but we shall see. If worse comes to worse, we can make a 4th line, or maybe have them rotate left to right. Then once they hit this slot, they go in a chest for 1 rotation. So there'll always be 1 row that's empty, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. There's a couple things that we can do. Let me go back and sleep, so it'll be daytime. We do have that second aged bed. So I'm almost tempted to bring that bed over here so that I can sleep at the farm while we're working on this, but I don't know. It's mainly just going to be a process of getting more seeds at this point. And then adding more crop rows and fences around it and all that good stuff. I'll tell you what, this grass really wants to grow into this. I'm hoping that's not going to be an issue once we get crops planted, because we should eventually, long term, we'll have all this stuff filled out. So now that we've got all of that ran, by the way, my flax, I replanted that, right? This should be grown. I just noticed I only had 1 flax seed, so. Oh, we got 8 now. That means I got an extra one on that harvest. That's awesome. Remember, it's about a 15% chance that you're going to get extra seeds. And of course, as you get more seeds, it's going to be easier and easier to expand. Because you're going to have more chances at that 15% the more you have. Okay, so I'm going to separate all these out. So we've got an N crop. There's a P, an N, K, and K. Okay, so spelt, turnip, and rye are all N. Parsnip is a P, and flax, soybean, and carrots are all Ks. So I guess I want to do this like NPK to start with. So we're going to go ahead and just run, and I guess I'll do NPK coming towards the center like that. So we'll just go ahead and put down all of our flax. And I may actually only need like one row for right now. Because parsnips, I've only got one pea crop. And that's it. But if I recall, parsnip is actually a really good crop, so I'd like to get more of those seeds as soon as possible, but we'll see. And then turnips are actually pretty good for health. Though I will say that in the new update, we actually start getting into medicine, which is it's really exciting. The 1.7 update, I'm really excited for, because there's just some really cool stuff in it. Okay, so there's all of our end crops. Now, eventually, I would like to have, like, this row would all be turnips. This row would all be parsnips. This would all be flax, all the way back. But right now, I just don't have the seeds. So I think we're just going to use one of these fields until I get more, until I get more seeds. But at least we'll have, like, a proper place to farm at. And look at that. Almost an entire row of K crops at the moment. But I don't have any rice. There's some rice nearby, but it has taken a while. Of course, this is all like low fertility soil, so it's going to grow like really slow. Oh, these are... I was over here just a second ago and these weren't mature, but they are now. Of course, this low fertility soil gets like a really big growth speed debuff. I kind of want those. I think, are boars the third animal? I can't remember. I'm going to have to check that. Yeah, see, I've got rice over here, and I've got rice in another place as well. But I'm waiting for it to, grow. Because it hasn't hit that last stage yet. And if I recall, it has to be final stage for you to get the seeds. I've broken a few that weren't final stage, and I didn't get the seeds, so... I'm thinking you have to wait for it to be fully grown. Okay, so I got another turnip crop. I don't mind it being away from the other turnips, because basically I'm just going to wait for everything to grow to full stage, and then just move it. So it'll be getting reorganized each rotation. So that should be good for now. That's just going to be kind of a work in progress. I just want to get the farms down at the moment, and kind of give you guys an idea of the layout of the town as well. Okay, and I'm thinking right over here opposite it. I've been clearing out some grass, but I think over here, I'm just kind of elevated there above where the farm's going to be. I think we should have a nice berry orchard started. By the way, one really quick side note here. One of the nice things about this is whenever you wait until like all these crops are grown, I'll be able to go down through here with a scythe and just harvest like all this like really quick. Just using a scythe. So that's going to come in. That's going to come in super handy. By the way, look at all this. I just broke my scythe, but I've got a ton of grass now. One thing I think would be really cool, like with animal husbandry coming up, and of course passive animals and stuff like that, it'd be really cool if they would eat grass, like all this grass that's growing, and it would be even cooler if there was like, if you could get like a goat, let's say, like goats that would. Like, maybe the normal passive animals don't just eat, like, all the grass. But if you could get, like, a specialized animal, like a goat or something, that would just eat all the grass in, like, an area. Like, wherever its fence is at. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? I think so. Like, controlled lawnmowers. For the medieval ages. Lawnmowers for the medieval ages. Okay, so anyways, we've got a number of different berry bushes. Cranberry, blueberry, of course, can't be stacked on top of each other. But then we have red currants, white currants, and black currants, which can be stacked on top of each other. So kind of what I'm thinking is we're going to do this berry field. Let's see. I almost think I want like specialized fields. So maybe like right up here we have like a blueberry field that's just blueberries. Because I think cranberries need water. I'm going to double check it, but I think cranberries need water, so it makes sense if the cranberries were maybe... Well, I don't want to use it over here because I have a plan for that little spot. Because that's where I want the basket weavers building to be. Because I'm going to use this little pond here for cattails for the basket weaving. But I think most of the agriculture, like the really heavy agriculture stuff, should be separated from, you know, the industrial part, the blacksmith and stuff like that. So, I don't know, let's see. Because what I'm thinking is, like, actual blueberry fields are just, they're laid out in rows like this. So I'm thinking that we should do, or like actual berry fields. So I'm thinking that we should just do rows. I mean, I know it's not the most exciting thing, but imagine how this is going to look when we have just a ton of rows of blueberries that go like, I don't know how far I'm going to bring back this one. Bear in mind that we will probably eventually have multiples of all these farms and things like that, but maybe like that. I kind of wish I could stop the grass from growing though, somehow. Because I know it's just going to grow and I'm going to have to keep cleaning this stuff out. But I need a goat. That's what I need. So maybe like blueberry fields right in there. Let me check on cranberries real quick. Okay, yeah, I was just looking, and cranberries do require a lot of water. And then what they do, like modern day farming, is they'll flood the area to harvest the berries. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to use this river here. And since they do require a lot of water, like the cranberry bushes do, what we're going to do is we're actually going to kind of irrigate this a little bit. And so what I'm thinking is, and of course we'll expand on this, just like the other stuff, but we're going to bring this up. And I am probably going to end up pushing that dirt back a little bit. And probably end up irrigating it out to the road. I mean, I'm just eating through shovels like crazy. Like super fast. But I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll have the road kind of like you walk over here and you can actually like look down and see the little like cranberry field right there. I think it'd be better than just placing all the bushes, you know, up there. Like, just like kind of, I don't want all of the berries to just be like the berry or the blueberry bushes. I want to kind of have like specialized farms that actually kind of fit them, I guess. And so we'll just kind of irrigate this back. And then what we'll do is we'll have the cranberries kind of, we'll place it like this kind of. And then just kind of bring them back. So they're next to this like irrigation plot. And then what I would do is I would have, like we'll bring this back to like the water's edge. And then kind of wrap them around like this. And then bring them back up again. And then we'll have, oh, this grass. Oh, this grass. And then we'll like have another irrigation line here. So you'll basically be able to just like walk here between the berries and harvest, and then behind each one there's going to be like an irrigation line right there. And I think that would look pretty good once it's all, you know, once we have a lot of cranberries. And then like right here I'm gonna push this back a little bit. So we'll end up having like this nice little lowlands area for the cranberries. All irrigated out and everything. I think that seems reasonable. I do. And then we also have these currant bushes. And these, I think, are probably, we're probably going to stack them like too high. And I don't know if I want to do like some sort of a hedge maze with them, or, I mean, we've got them around the blacksmith a little bit. Oh, these are a little bit tougher to figure out what I want to do with. Because I don't know if I want to do like specialized, like really special farms for each color, or just do like a general plan for the currant bushes. But I think like the blueberries I think will be good once, I mean right now it just looks like bushes on a plot of grass, but I promise we'll put fences around it and bring those rows back and everything. And this area is the same way. Right now it just looks like fields. It's day by day, right? Day by day. For the longest time the blacksmith looked like a box, so it's a work in progress thing. The hardest part for all this is just figuring out location and layout. And that's what we're doing this episode. By the way, I need stone path stairs. Like, so bad. Because stone path stairs, stone path slabs, both of those would be really handy to have. Okay, I've been doing some thinking, and I think what we're going to do, first up, originally I was planning on doing a charcoal burning area here, but I think it'll add another area for our town. But if we had like a specialized charcoal burner area, like where charcoal burners worked, that do the charcoal, I think that would be better. And as far as the currant bushes, I do have a plan in the future for maybe doing like a maze for like a manor in the town, or, something to that effect. But I think what I'm going to do with most of the currant bushes, at least for right now, is I'm going to use them around the town, kind of like what we used around the blacksmith. Because we don't have leaves to make like hedges. So if we did currant bushes as basically hedges, I think that would be good. And then have like the specialized place for the blueberries and for the cranberries. And then a couple things that I did, I decided to actually shift this out. Because, I mean, cranberries, they need a lot of water, but they don't really need to just be water for days. So I decided I'm actually just going to do a canal like right there, and then I'm going to have 2 lines of cranberries that you can walk between. And so then I shifted this irrigation channel to here. So, and I cut down some of the cranberries so that I could actually build this out a little bit. But I think that would be better to do it that way. And then over here at the farm, I went ahead and brought out the irrigation lines a little bit. So the irrigation lines actually connect into this part of the river, and they come down, and then they go all the way back, and then they drain out to this big lake area. And it looks like our crops are growing at a very good rate. Like, I mean, I've already got turnips are growing, and everything else is like, it's fast approaching that fully grown point. So I just need more seeds. I need more seeds of like everything at the moment. But of course, all of our farming stuff, all of our seeds, all of our berries, everything is going to be a work in progress. Because, like, unlike another game, you don't just break grass to get seeds. Seeds, you actually, you have to go out and find the plant and everything. So it is kind of a work in progress. But yeah, I think the berry bushes just around the town would be great because they add a nice pop of color. So I think our currant bushes, that's what we'll do, is we'll just hold on to these, and we'll kind of space them out so we have a little bit of white, black, and red, spaced around. So we're going to have those colors, whereas normally we don't have a lot of reds and whites, and, well, we've got black, but we don't have a lot of those colors, predominantly in our color palettes for building. So it's going to add a nice splash of color whenever the berries are in. I think that would be good. But what I want to do is I want to grab our fences. I want to at least fence in a little bit of our farms. And then, I mean, that's just going to be something that we progressively add to and work on, as the series goes on until those farms are done. And then whenever those farms are done, we'll start on another farm. We'll start on a second farm or whatever. But what I want is some of these birch fences. We'll go ahead and just snag those so we can put a fence, or at least start putting a fence around our farm. And I don't think that I want the cobblestone underneath the fences there because of the fact that, these are kind of just, it's dirt, it's more natural here, so I think I'd rather have just it on grass, But out here, I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to have these farm plots. I noticed the grass doesn't spread from other grass blocks, it just grows on the farmland. But what I'm thinking is this is going to go back to about, we'll say about this point, is where our farm plots are going to go to. And so what I'm thinking is we'll just bridge across this like that, and then do the same right there. I think would be good. And then I'm going to go ahead and count out like 3 blocks, and then an extra one, and then we'll have, a farm plot that runs there. And what I'm going to do is, like, this area right here, the river's going to drop right there, okay, and it's gonna follow, one about that layer there, or that elevation. So what we're going to do for irrigation is I'm going to have this one split off, maybe right in here, because I'm not going to change up the land too much. That's going to be like where the lowlands start. So I'm going to have the irrigation break off and then come down. It'll break off and come down. So kind of what I'm thinking is we'll have, like right in here, we'll have the fence span across that water there. And then it's just going to come down like a little ways to like right there. And then we would have farm plot, farm plot, farm plot. And then walking space, and then farm plot, farm plot, farm plot. And then water right there. And then the fence on the other side of the water. And then it would come down. And I think that would be a good sized farm. And I'm going to figure out something to cross the water here. I don't know if I just want to do like little like mini bridges that cross. I will say that there's not going to be, like right here, there's not going to be crops on like these 3 slots right here. So the farm plots would actually start like right in there. And then you would have a couple spaces to walk, and then there'd be, you know, there would be farm plots like that that go across. And we're going to have the irrigation line come back behind this fence here and just run across. I will build a little bit of the dirt out right there just so I can have the irrigation line come through, and then it would come underneath the fence and go out like that, I think is what I'll do. And then I'll just bring this fence on back. Because I want the farm to kind of look like it was shaped, you know, based on the land. I mean, I am shaping up a little bit of the land and landscaping a little bit. But I'm trying to keep, overall, I'm trying to keep the lay of the land pretty much how it was, you know. And then right here, we'll have this come across. And the fence will plug in like right there. I think that'll be good. And then on this side, I'm not 100% sure how far I'm going to bring it out. Actually, I'll probably leave that mountain there. And so I would just have like 3 crops here. And then like space to walk. And this would be like the edge of the farm. I will probably trim this dirt back a little bit. Just so the fence doesn't connect into it like that. But overall, I think I want to keep this hill here. I don't want to do any like super drastic, you know, landscaping. Because I want to, overall, I want to keep the lay of the land. So if we just did it about like that, and then we would have our 3 planting areas, and then a 1 space area to walk here on the edge of the field. And I think that would be good. Okay, and then I'm thinking for our fields, because I really don't want grass like cropping up, you know, in the middle of the field all the time. Wow, the soybeans are the only thing that's not fully grown right now. But what I'm thinking is we're going to use wooden paths that run through here, because I think these actually look pretty good. The only downside is you can only make these with aged wooden planks. That is the only type of wood that seems to work. But you do get 2 per craft. And, I mean, I think they look pretty good. And they beat just having just grass running between these. They're just going to be, they're going to be expensive. I wish I could, well, once we get crops planted here, we won't have to worry about the grass growing through here. And then we'll have the wooden paths, and you can still kind of see the grass popping up underneath these. And I think it'll look pretty good. I do. Especially once this is all filled out with like crops. Especially like dedicated crop lines. So just flax, just parsnips, just turnips. And then, you know, you pop over here and maybe you got rye and soybeans and, you know, something else. I think it'll be pretty good. This field won't, even if we get pumpkin seeds, this field will not have pumpkins planted on it. You know, because it's not really built for pumpkins. I do wish these would, I wish you could lay them like vertically and put them over water. That would be really cool if you could do that. But I think that'll be a pretty good sized farm, and I think it'll look good once it's all filled out. I mean, right now it's all covered in grass, but it looks like the start of like Harvest Moon or something. is what it looks like. But I don't think you can stand on water lilies, no. Which makes total sense. You shouldn't be able to stand on water lilies. They totally wouldn't support your weight. But I think that'll be good. And then we can keep expanding that. And I am going to put fences around the berry bush areas. I've just got to figure out exactly where I want to do that. And I may actually push the cranberries up a layer. Because right now they're butted up right up against the back of the water where the river's at. And we can actually see it from here. I think I'm actually going to bring them up 1. And that way I can actually build like a fence around the back side of that. And kind of fence that in a little bit. But look at that. We'll have a nice big planting area. And then this area over here, I'm going to plant, maybe plant bamboo or something. We might end up using it. I don't know for sure. But I am going to put something over there. Maybe just a big tree. I don't know. Because that's kind of like the outer edges of the town. And then right here we'll have the road will come out and kind of come up through and go to the mine. Is my plan. And then we'll do something, you know, out in here. I could actually bring this out and put like pumpkins right in this little area. Maybe. You know, actually in the creative mode menu, there's actually like pear trees and peach trees and stuff like that. But I don't think they're available at the moment. But whenever they do become available, it'd be cool to have like an orchard. Not right there. It wouldn't really be big enough for right there, but, you know, somewhere. But yeah, I feel like the town is growing. I know right over in here I want the basket weavers shop. And then like a little bridge that crosses over to it and have it kind of on the water right there. I think that would be good. But I do plan on the town, as you can probably guess, the town's going to be pretty large. It's going to span a lot of this area. And then I'm going to have a big bridge that crosses over all this water, because this is going to be like a little pond area right in there once everything's landscaped. And then I'm thinking maybe the blueberry area will hit like right back in there and then come around and then come around right there, I think. I mean, I like this little area right here because I can kind of stand out and really look at things from almost like a sky view, which has helped a lot. But I am planning on, I'm going to flatten out a little bit of this terrain, and I'm going to put a watchtower up here. Because I think this is like the perfect place for a watchtower, and then maybe one over there on that hilltop, and then, you know, some out there as well. But kind of on the outskirts of the town have these watchtowers. And I think this one would be a great vantage point, you know. And plus it'll give me a little bit more elevation to look down the town. So I am planning on putting a watchtower right up here. And also I am planning on, instead of having ladders, because the guards, I don't think the guards would want to climb all these ladders. But I am planning on putting some kind of a staircase up that runs up the mountain, and then like little roads that kind of come across. Because like I said, I am planning on doing a little bit of building up on top of the mountain. How much we do, I don't know, it depends. But we are going to do a little bit up here. So. But anyways, I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode. Like I said, these are going to be very much kind of in progress builds. And then if I decide something else that I want to do with the current bushes, we will do that. But I am planning on mainly, moreover, using those for decor, I think, instead of having like dedicated fields. Because you get so many of them. And you can't use leaves to make like hedges. So, I mean, I don't know of any way to harvest leaves like as a block and place them down and stuff like that. Plus a new leaf decay thing is coming with the 1.7 update, I remember reading. And so I don't know how that's going to affect making hedges out of leaves. But you can make hedges out of current bushes, and it works even better, I think, because you get those pops of color. So that's the plan for right now, is using those more for decor around the town than having actually a field for it. And I think it'll be for the best too to do that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope you guys are enjoying the series. The 1.7 update is so exciting. Let me know down in the comments if you would rather get into bloomeries and making alloys, or if you'd rather get into a little bit of animal husbandry maybe next episode. There's also the new cooking mechanics that are coming, and the nutrition that's coming up. That was also, I'll post it up on the Discord, but there's actually a whole lot in this update. There's a whole lot, because there's like a nutrition system where you only start at like 15 hearts, but if you take care of your nutrition, or 15 health, I believe it is. But if you take care of your nutrition, you can get it up to 25 health. And see, right now it's just 20 health is max all the time. Now it's going to range between 15 and 25, which is pretty cool. So it's really exciting stuff. Really exciting stuff. So let me know down in the comments what you guys would be more interested in getting into, whether it be, you know, maybe a bit of cooking, maybe a bit of husbandry, maybe bloomeries and alloys, get better tools. I don't know. We'll see. Let me know down in the comments. So anyways, I hope you guys join me for next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.